Ladies and gentlemen, here we go, and welcome to the week 6 edition of Raw, and this is your first Numerous Mode show after our ECW Barely pay-per-view, which was, it was an okay pay-per-view. I still kind of like Raw's or the Limit pay-per-view better, because I feel like I did better in that one. But anyway, here we go as we go into Raw action. Screw ECW, since this is Raw, the better show, because we are all about the heels. And as we continue the X Division title tournament here tonight, as we are now up to the semifinals. Your final four men are Cody Rhodes, Ricochet, Zack Ryder, and Manik. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, Zack Ryder defeated Christian. We had Ricochet defeat whoever. We had Cody Rhodes defeat whoever. And we also had Manik defeat Tyson Kidd. And I can't remember who did Ricochet defeat and who did Cody Rhodes defeat. I completely forgot. Anyway, so semifinals. Zack Ryder, who will take on Manik. Shortly after, we have this matchup between the American Nightmare, the Dash-In one, Cody Rhodes, and of course Ricochet, who you now see is dressed up as Prince Puma. So we get, and how I said on the week. What? When's Ricochet? I forgot. On the week 5 edition of Raw, right? Obviously. I did say of how we're gonna be changing it up with Ricochet. Saying of how we're gonna make him be Ricochet one day, and then another episode / day we're gonna make him be Prince Puma. So for this one, we're gonna keep his name as Ricochet, but we just changed it up to be Prince Puma, as you see, because of course this is what he looks like in the underground. Well, sort of, not exactly the mask design, but everything else is pretty accurate. So anyway, your card for tonight, of course, this is first matchup, semifinals for the Cruiserweight Championship, as we continue the 8-man tournament. Cody Rhodes, Ricochet, right now. Next matchup, Zack Ryder versus Manik, aka Suicide. But we're gonna keep it as Manik. We could change it to Suicide though. Let's see. In third matchup, we are going to have. I'm trying to remember from the top of my head. I don't have it written down. I mean, I do, but I'm too lazy to look for where I wrote it down now. But I really can't remember. Right, I remember now. Yeah, AJ Styles versus Undertaker. Right, I forgot. So now, of course, we're continuing that tag team rivalry between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Undertaker and Kane. Of course, Taker and Nakamura, they defeated Styles and AJ on the Over the Limit pay-per-view, which was Raw exclusive. But now we're going to continue the rivalry via one-on-one matches here. And so, we've had multiple. We're not going to stop until we get every possible combination. So, we had Nakamura versus Kane, stuff like that, blah, blah. So, yeah, we'll see how AJ Styles could face off. How he would do against the Phenom, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. So, anyway, your fourth matchup is going to be a fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match to see who, to see who becomes the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, at the Limit pay-per-view, we had The Miz lose to Apollo Crews, and so, therefore, Apollo Crews, he retained his Intercontinental Championship. Miz did not become the new Intercontinental Champion, so he still got Apollo Crews as Intercontinental Champion. But remember, The Miz, he still has his rematch clause. So, figuring out who's the number 1 contender, we're going to have to see if it could become a triple threat or something of that sort. And your fatal 4-way matchup is going to be between Batista, Sami Zayn, and 2 debuting Raw superstars. Of course, Raw, SmackDown, East, they've been having a whole lot of debuts lately. ECW, they got Minoru Suzuki at their Barely Legal pay-per-view, who's probably challenging Baron Corbin for the ECW Championship next. But for Raw, over here. Well, you guys probably might have noticed a little tiny jump cut there in the audio. That's because I got interrupted again. I hate this so much. At least in the ECW Barely Legal pay-per-view with me recording it, at least I didn't get interrupted there. But I've noticed mostly for Raw, ECW, and SmackDown episodes I get interrupted, but for pay-per-views I usually don't, which is kind of ironic. But at least not during pay-per-views get interrupted. But for the regular shows, I do. I see now Cody Rhodes, he could probably be getting count out here. He gets inside around count 9. Never mind. Alright, anyway, going back to the match card. So, and your two debuting Raw superstars are going to be. Can I get a drum roll, please? I'm not gonna do a drum roll myself. Just like give me a whole drum roll for like 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Morrissey Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Now, of course, some of you guys who do know them, of course they are a tag team. But for this one, we're gonna specifically have them be here in Raw, contending for the Intercontinental Championship first. That's, of course, even if anyone of them win it. Now, of course, you know in TNA that for when they were in TNA, their main goal was mostly, the tag team championships and the X Division title, especially when they faced off against the chair for the X Division title. So we'll see. Let's see if Chris Sabin or actually imagine when them become the contender for, the Intercontinental Championship. We'll see on how that goes. And we'll see on how far they could get into Raw over here in Humorous mode. And now I know why I am a heel commentator specifically for Raw. I should not be all that much happy for the Mercy Machine Guns coming over here, but let's see on what they could do. Anyway, going back to Chris Reaction. I'm not Chris Reaction, sorry, that's SmackDown. Going back into the X Division action as we continue this tournament. So, ladies and gentlemen, my money is, of course, on Cody Rhodes. And then for a Zack Ryder Manik matchup, let's see. Zack Ryder, he did impress me. Now, of course, while I don't usually like loudmouth wrestlers and stuff like that, the annoying ones that the fans always get over for, I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed by Zack Ryder's showing and of how he was able to get into here. So let's see us now. And a backwards 450 splash. I forget what Ricochet calls it. What, the 630, something like that? And Cody Rhodes, he's going to be counted out. Most likely. He's on count 9. Can Ricochet be able to win this? Or no? Say the referee counts to 10 for Rhodes. We skipped from 3 to 5, ironically. Need to try to catch up. Elimination. Cody Rhodes on count 10. Ricochet advances further to the X Division title tournament. Now, who is he going to face off against is the question. Is it going to be this man, Manik? Or is it going to be Zack Ryder? This is for sure going to be a good one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, imagine if Zack Ryder does win the X Division title. I probably might be happy. Now, of course, while Zack Ryder is a face and I am a heel commentator, I gotta say, if this guy turns heel, it'll be great. But let's see what he could do against a formidable opponent, and it is against Manik. I see right there, Manik, he's going to spin heel kick off the back. Zack Ryder immediately trying to get some space. And so now Manik and Zack Ryder on the outside. Nice counter from the Tornado DT from Manik as he counters to a bit by a drop. And Manik slams down Zack Ryder's back. Right into almost the ring apron, kind of. I believe Zack Ryder's back hit part of the ring apron. Kind of a nasty landing on the outside, period, though. So, yep, I see their body slam tombstone by Manik. He's immediately just gonna try, try and make Zack Ryder get a concussion here. I don't really know what to say because at this point Zack Ryder has been taking a whole lot of damage in the hands of Manik. Nails the drop kick, and Manik gets the ring count 6. Zack Ryder count 7. Beautiful drop kick. Manik's on the outside now. Fox splash for Zack Ryder. Now Zack Ryder is the man that's on the row in this matchup. So we shall see. Of course, one of these men, either Zack Ryder or Manik, will face off against Ricochet. We'll for sure have a high-flying matchup between Manik and Ricochet. Most definitely. And Ricochet decides to go as Prince Puma, which seemed like what he did against Cody Rhodes just a few moments ago. You will be for sure that we're going to get a more high-flying matchup. Ricochet is as high-flying as they come. But, when he is Prince Puma, that mask adds in an extra flair to it. Spirit of Luchador adds in a little bit of an extra flair, which is always a good thing. Especially since we have the Luchador spirit across Universe mode, which of course is very, very good. We got Rey Mysterio on SmackDown, we got Sin Cara in ECW, we got Manik and Ricochet over here in Raw. many more in ECW, many more in SmackDown, many more here in Raw. Here they're by Sam Tombstone once more, and they showed out for sure that was going to be it. So anyway, Zack Ryder, he's gonna miss the Swanton type maneuver. Also, we have the Hardy Boys here in Raw, so yep, that's also pretty good. We got Morrissey Machine Guns, who are going to be in the Fatal 4-Way matchup later on tonight, so that's gonna be good. Oh, and also your main event, which I completely forgot to say, is going to be Roman Reigns one-on-one against his tag team partner Bobby Lashley. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns, he defeated CM Punk in week 2 or 3 of he defeated CM Punk in the week 3 edition of Raw, which made Roman Reigns become automatically number 1 contender since he defeated CM Punk in a non-title matchup. And then after that, in the Order Limit pay-per-view after week 4, we had CM Punk make Roman Reigns tap out to the Anaconda device as Punk retained his WWE Championship. And then last week in Raw, we had Bobby Lashley demand a title shot after his impressive performance versus whoever. I completely forgot who I made job to Bobby Lashley. Well, of course, Bobby Lashley destroyed that opponent because it was Jobber. And so Bobby Lashley, he demanded a title shot. Eric Bischoff, your Raw GM, he gave Lashley one, but he did say that he'll have to go up against his fellow tag team partner Roman Reigns, who, of course, Roman, he still has his rematch clause. Now, if Roman fails to win this matchup against Bobby Lashley later on tonight, then I guess Bobby Lashley, he's gonna make it a one-on-one contest. And now, if Roman Reigns wins, then he has his rematch clause all set up, but it's gonna be a triple threat between him, his fellow tag team partner Bobby Lashley, and WWE Champion CM Punk at the Live from the MSG Join branded pay-per-view, which of course is joined branded with Raw, SmackDown, and ECW. Now, we're not going to have all the titles defended because then that would just be, a whole lot of time matches, because we also got to develop the rivalries as well in the pay-per-view, which there's going to be 2, 3 rivalry matches, I believe. 2 or 3. I believe probably most likely 2. Anyway, as we go back to the action, drop kick by Manik. Both these men count 6. We even imagine we get another count-out victory here from Iron Man. Here. That'll be equally similar to Prince Puma versus Cody Rhodes just a few minutes ago. And Ryder, he gets Sutter in count 8. He's going to break up the count. And now as he decides to go inside, misses the drop kick after the strike straight to the face of Manik. And now Manik, a couple strikes right there. Zack Ryder counters, nails the Bulldog. Both these men having somewhat of a good contest so far. Tornado DT by Zack Ryder, and he sticks with it as he turns it into a submission. Is this going to be it? Can Manik tap out here? Imagine Manik does tap out. Imagine how embarrassing that can be for him here. And with Zack Ryder, another Bulldog. After a Bulldog he did a couple minutes ago or something like that. Simple kick to the stomach, strike to the face, and later Manik, he's dazed. He's probably busted open in that mask of his. Now he's on the ring apron. Zack Ryder, he brings him back. All I know is that none of these members fall through my announce table. I don't want no one falling through my announce table. This announce table is very, very special. No one is going to fall through this. So now Zack Ryder is going to try and make Manik tap out with a leg string, wearing down the legs of the high-flying Manik, which, of course, like I say every time, very smart strategy. You take out the legs of your opponent. You take out their ability to just basically do most % of their offense, which, of course, is very, very smart, especially against luchadors, and especially against big men, such as, I don't know, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Kane, stuff like that. Anyway, going back to the action, Zack Ryder's simple kick to the stomach of Manik. Ladies and gentlemen, Zack Ryder, he's been having the most momentum into his matchup now, as you see that he's been taking the least amount of damage from Manik. He's been taking the most, which to be fair, you'd think would be vice versa. Surprisingly not, which I guess is kind of unpredictable. Snap suplex from Zack Ryder nails down to Manik. Now frog splash. Zack Ryder loves to pull out those frog splashes. And now into a figure four leg lock submission hold. He's wrenching tight onto the leg of Manik, squeezing the pressure, making sure that Manik hurts. That his legs are just no longer able to work. He's going to get out of it though. And ladies and gentlemen, Zack Ryder nails the Rough Rider, which is the leap in. That's the leap in double unhook facebuster. I believe that's supposed to be the Rough Rider, though. So pretend it's that. Another figure for leg lock. After he went to a pin from the Rough Rider, but of course that was a rope break. Zack Ryder did not bother to change his position. Nails the leap in DDT. Can this one be it? He's not going to do the pin though. Change it to a sleeper hold. Add an insult to injury. After nailing the DDT, then a sleeper hold. Imagine Manik did tap out of that. Now imagine if he taps out to this figure 4 leg lock, which Zack Ryder keeps applying the pressure to his leg. Make sure Manik does not walk after this matchup, and now a leg strength. So far, Zack Ryder having impressive showing. This is why this man is probably one of the rare faces in which where I will probably cheer for. Look how smart he's acting. Now, if he turns heel, then of course I will believe in him 100%. At this rate, probably 60%, since he's a face. But we shall see. Anyway, Zack Ryder nails the frog splash now. And now has Manik in an anaconda type submission maneuver. Shades of the WWE champion CM Punk currently. Manik, he's just going to have to try to fight back, use his high flying ability, but I don't think he could even do that anymore. Another anaconda device, ladies and gentlemen, and Manik taps out. Manik, I think, just took too much damage in this matchup. Therefore, Zack Ryder wins. And so in the finals, it's going to be Zack Ryder taking on either Prince Puma or Ricochet. Of course, since they're both the same person, so we might as well say Ricochet. But with which persona? His regular persona or with his Prince Puma persona? We shall see on probably next week edition of Raw in the finals of the X Division title tournament. Anyway, as we go back into the action here, AJ Styles one-on-one with the Undertaker. Undertaker, of course, representing his tag team with his Barricade, the Bars of Destruction. AJ Styles representing his newly made tag team lately with Shinsuke Nakamura. So now we shall see as the Undertaker going to probably pull off Tombstone immediately, and now Styles counters with a leap in DT, nails the kick up, shades of Shawn Michaels. Imagine that matchup between Styles and Taker. Imagine matchup between Styles and Michaels. But hey, we got another dream matchup here between Styles and Undertaker. Now, that was not Tombstone Powerdriver. That was a shoulder breaker. Since one of Undertaker's knees were up, that is not a Tombstone Powerdriver. That's a shoulder breaker. Don't you dare think for 1 second that was a Tombstone Powerdriver. Anyway, so we shall see on who wins this matchup. Which tag team's gonna have more momentum? I can't remember who won between Kane and Nakamura. Alright, I remember Nakamura. And nails the Pele kick. I was about to say spin heel kick, but I bet that is actually a spin heel kick, but for the game and for AJ Styles as that being added to his moveset, I believe that's supposed to be a Pele kick. Knocks down Undertaker. Taker nails chokeslam. He connects with it, so therefore it's not a full chokeslam. But he did connect with it the back of the head of AJ Styles, just hitting the mat on the outside. Of course, not really that much of a great landing. Sure, it's somewhat of a good pattern, but not that much of a good one. Styles with headlock. Taker has a very, very wide open rope break there. So now Styles, he's gonna have to pull out his quirkiness here to just overpower Undertaker. Well, I guess it's kind of difficult to say since Taker's gonna clearly overpower the phenomenal one. AJ Styles is here, there, drills him down to the mat, connects with a side headlock takedown, and that is the great wrestling ability of this wrestling legend, the wrestling legend known as the Phenom, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. So now AJ Styles, of course. I guess to say legend in his own right. Legendary in TNA, Ring of Honor, other independent wrestling promotions. Also New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is a big one as well. And of course, the WWE as well. He's been around the world. He's probably been inside every wrestling promotion in the whole world. Has he ever been in CCW? I don't think so. Has he? I don't know. Of course, he once wrestled in WCW as well, in the WWF as well, as Theodore Nelson's spin heel kick, but let's just say that's the Pele kick. And now into a Boston Crab submission maneuver was Jericho applied. Now he changes it into a Lion Tamer. Shades of ECW's Chris Jericho. Jericho watched on that in the ECW locker room probably right now. Taker drills him down again, sticks with the side headlock takedown once more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for surely going to be a great matchup for his next few minutes to come until this match ends between The Undertaker and the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now, of course, my money is still on Taker and Kane once this rematch happens, mostly because, Raw is the home of heels. We cheer for heels here. Eric Bischoff, your great Raw GM. Same thing as me, your notorious Raw commentator. Anyway, going back to the action, both men about to do a kick. Taker nails his first, nails the monkey flip. Styles, he gets launches from the ring apron to the ring, and now a triangle hold. Imagine Styles taps out of this. That'll be impressive for the Undertaker. Just make Styles tap out from that. Simply just a triangle submission hold. But how you doubt that? Phenomenal one. He's in a whole lot of trouble here. Undertaker, he's been looking very good throughout this matchup. So has AJ Styles. Styles, he's been taking the more damage compared to Undertaker. But of course, a momentum shift could happen at any time in the matchup. Take our simple kick. Couple strikes. Styles gonna try to answer back. He's on a little bit of a combo. Last year they're trying to do a backside. Styles counters Taker's backside with a backslide, of his own. And Taker, he's gonna kick out 2 from that. Styles with the kick up, Shawn Michaels style again. And now AJ Styles with an ankle lock. Probably something similar to Kurt Angle, which of course was his longtime rival back in TNA. Well, great matches they had back in the day. Nails the Pele kick for a third time in this matchup into a line tamer, Chris Jericho style. I'm just going to keep saying moves because Styles is mimicking a whole lot of them. Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, whole lot of greats. And ladies and gentlemen, what? Undertaker just tapped out to AJ Styles' line tamer, and apparently that has worked out. Of course, line tamer, you put your knee down to your opponent's head, which kind of stretches them out a little bit more, especially you got the force of your knee to the back of their neck / head, and of course their face being squished across against the mat. Very painful submission maneuver, and that works out to the part of AJ Styles as we kick off your fatal 4-way number 1 contenders matchup here. Batista, Morrissey Machine Guns, Chris Sabin, and Alex Shelley, and Sami Zayn, who is supposed to come out right now. Bingo. Now, if you guys are thinking, are Morrissey Machine Guns and Sami Zayn in a tag team? No, I just want to keep Sami Zayn in this black and red attire, and of course that's the regular Chris Sabin and Alex Morrissey Machine Guns. That's their regular, attire anyway. So, no, they're not associated. They look like the Ascension here, to be fair. But no, they're not. So don't worry, they're not in a tag team. I could make them be in a tag team, but no, that's a no so far. Anyway, as you see right now, we got Alex Shelley, Batista, we got Chris Sabin and Sami Zayn having a little bit of one-on-one action here against each other. And now, 1, 2, I thought that was going to be it. Imagine Chris Sabin immediately stole the victory. Now, of course, Sami Zayn, he's had championship opportunity. He, of course, was inside the WWE Championship matchup against CM Punk in the Week 2 edition of Raw, in which we had Punk and Zayn, and then, of course, Punk, he won that matchup, which later then led to 2 weeks later, in which Punk defeated Roman Reigns. Of course, Sami Zayn, he's had his rematch clause. He lost his rematch clause to Roman Reigns in record time in a 4-minute squash match from Roman. So Zayn, he's gonna shrink down into the ranks, and he's now gonna be locked inside the mid-card division. And if he does not win one here, he could probably go into the tag team division or the X division, depending. But of course, you can move up to any rank. Batista, of course, he has a whole lot of momentum. He won the 10-man Battle Royal momentum match in the week 4 edition of Raw before the Orlando pay-per-view. And then in the Orlando pay-per-view, he answered Goldberg's last man standing open challenge, in which Batista did defeat Goldberg, I believe, in 3 or 4 minutes. And that was impressive. Batista wins the momentum 10-man Battle Royal. That also involved Goldberg in it. And Batista later then defeats Goldberg in the last man standing match in Goldberg's open challenge. So, of course, Goldberg, he's not too happy about that one. Keep an eye out for Bill Goldberg later on tonight if he does decide to come here, due to him probably wants some revenge on Batista Without seeing what happens there, see there Sami Zayn connect with German suplex to Chris Sabin. What great matches for sure gonna be as what a great match this for sure is going to be. I can't talk at all. I say it like almost every video, every time I like screw up my talking. Anyway, Sami Zayn now. He's going to take down Alex Shelley, and now Chris Sabin and Sami Zayn, they're back at it. Now in Alex Shelley, he nails dropkick to the back of his partner, which is of course Chris Sabin. And now Chris Sabin gets sent to the announce table from Sami Zayn. And Zayn, he takes a nasty landing off the top of the rope. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin now, they're going on Batista. Sami Zayn, he's going to like try to get into the mix now. Try to be accurate. German suplex from Zayn to Chris Sabin. Alex Shelley breaks it up at the count of 1. Now, of course, we got this like tag team situation between Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. They could be doing a whole tag team thing against Sami Zayn and Batista to the point in which we're seeing Batista they're gonna have to team up. We shall see on what happens. Anyway, Zayn, he's gonna go on top of the ring apron now off the Irish Whip. He was gonna fall for that. Batista now knocks down Zayn with that lariat, and now Chris Sabin is sitting on my seat. And Batista, he can see the victory here. I didn't see what he just did to Sami Zayn and pin him, but I was paying attention to actually Chris Sabin on the outside. Actually, he stole the victory there. Anyway, Batista takes down Sami Zayn now. Small package from Chris Sabin. Alex Shelley to Chris Sabin. And now Chris Sabin and Batista double team. Fall away slam, I believe that was, onto Alex Shelley, of course, Chris Sabin's partner. So I'm a little bit surprised on what Chris Sabin just did to his own partner, team up with Batista, but I guess it's kind of a smart decision to do. Batista definitely the most momentum-driven man in this matchup. And so, definitely the most strongest man as well. Probably not the fastest, though. Of course, Zayn, Batista, and Sabin, they will most likely be the fastest and more athletic compared to Batista. But Batista, he has the most momentum heading into this. He has a better win-loss record compared to them. And he has a better win-loss record compared to Sami Zayn, which I believe Zayn has lost every one of his matches, except for his first match, which was that fatal 4-way matchup to contend for the championship, as Punk won the other fatal 4-way matchup, which is why we had that Zayn and Punk matchup in the Week 2 edition of Raw. I do not recommend watching any of my Humorous Mode videos from Week 1 or Week 2 for any of them. Probably Week 2 of SmackDown, though. That Week 2 of SmackDown turned out well, I guess you would say. Anyway, going back to the action now. Alex Shelley trying to do something to Batista. Chris Sabin, he's going to break it up with a knee drop. Not sure if that was either a break up thing to, break up a potential submission hold or something like that. Or Chris Sabin did that as a double team as Alex Shelley. He nails dropkick to his partner. And now, victory road to Zayn and Sabin. Both men fall off. And Batista, his legs got cut from Alex Shelley. Drop kick by Alex Shelley to Sami Zayn. Sabin and Batista, they're having their own little time matchup. And ladies and gentlemen, I thought that was it. When I said ladies and gentlemen, I was about to say Alex Shelley wins this matchup. I thought that was it. No, Sami Zayn gets out of it just in the nick of time. I for sure thought that Alex Shelley was your number one contender and was going to face off against Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. But of course, like I said, Miz, he has his rematch clause since he was the number one contender. So we shall see on what happens there. And now Shelley, he had an ankle lock straight to Sami Zayn. This match was going on for surprisingly a longer time than I thought. Not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be somewhat of a short matchup like for ECW. But no, surprisingly not so far. And we're going back into the action. You got Zayn and Shelley. You got Sabin and Batista. Chris Sabin wants to try and do the sleep hold onto Batista. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the beer bottle just exploded. And the way Sami Zayn and Chris Sabin landed inside the ring was very, very brutal. Especially the way Sabin landed right in his head. And then actually with armbar to Batista, Sabin and Zayn, they're not able to break it up in time. Alex Shelley wins this number one contender's matchup. Alex Shelley proven to be the better member of the Mercy Machine Guns. He is number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. But now will Miz be breathing down his neck is the question. And the question will be, is it going to be Shelley versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship, or is it going to be a triple threat matchup? Will the Miz be able to have his rematch clause? granted, if he, could successfully defend it or something like that. And will turn to a triple threat between Cruz, Shelley, and The Miz himself. Anyway, main event time. Main event action here. We got Roman Reigns. We got Bobby Lashley. Of course, both these two men are a tag team. They were a tag team, as they did face off against Hardy Boys in the Week 1 edition of Raw. Of course, the Hardy Boys, they did defeat them. So, Reigns and Lashley, they haven't really proved that much as a tag team, because we only saw one match with them as a tag team. They are still necessarily a tag team. We just haven't been using them that much in the tag team division. But like I said, I have things planned out ahead of time. So, for example, for this current recording of Raw, I already have things set up for the next 2 weeks of Raw. If the people I want to win for certain things win, I have it set up. And then, of course, for some of them I don't have set up ahead of time. And I'll just see on what happens. Until it happens, I have more things set up and stuff said, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to the action now. Boston Crab applied by Lashley, not fully connected there. Didn't fully wrench down all the way back. Probably not enough in time. Probably not enough pressure against Roman Reigns to make Roman even think about giving up and tapping up. Of course, that's most likely easier said than done for a man of the caliber of Roman Reigns and for a man of the caliber of Bobby Lashley as well. And so now you probably might not be hearing my heel commentary because this is not really a night of heels. Sadly, Eric Bischoff has decided to mostly make it about the faces here. I don't think we've had one heel in this night. No, we did. We had the American Nightmare, the Dash one, Cody Rhodes, which I still think deserves to be in the finals. But now we got Prince Puma defeating him. Anyway, back into his 1-1 action. So, of course, if Roman Reigns, if he loses this matchup, then I guess his rematch clause is gone. And then it's going to be a 1-1 matchup between CM Punk and Bobby Lashley at the Live from the MSG live event. Of course, if Punk stays champion at the time. And, of course, if Punk even defends his championship at all at the pay-per-view. Or if Punk even, bars to defend his title at all here on Raw. We have not seen CM Punk show up after Over the Limit yet. He's still recovering, but of course Reigns, he probably needs to recover more. He of course got kicked off the ring apron at the pay-per-view, and he landed on his head on the outside, in which CM Punk capitalized on that opportunity, did the Anaconda Vice, and made Roman Reigns tap out. Punk retained his championship. Now Reigns, after glitched Irish Whip to, not glitched Irish Whip because that's usually a sell, but Lashley, he just slipped on there and he went a far distance. And now, Lothar is pressed straight to Roman Reigns. Have you ever seen someone manhandle Reigns like what just happened right now with that shoulder breaker? Lashley, of course, though. It will be a rope break. Lashley didn't bother to have all that much of good ring awareness, which, of course, is very costly. Very costly young mistake for the young Bobby Lashley. Of course, while he is young, he is very, very much of a good upcoming superstar. Gut wrench slam / suplex from Roman Reigns. Lashley no sells it. Landed right next to us here in the announce table. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm scared for my life because we got these two big men here. And I am scared for my announce table. I am scared for my chair, and there goes my announce table. Can you guys give that back to me? Reigns, he just took a vivid stare at me. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of scared now. My announce table is in the ring. I'm scared for my announce table. Me and my announce table, we've been through a lot. You guys better not break my announce table, though. You guys do not know how many announce tables we have to go through every time one is broken. And then after that, it's remade. And then, it's broken again because this announce table can just be remade again. Of course, Batista going through one of the announce tables in the Fail 4 matchup. But, one of them put it back together. And then after that, it broke again. Stuff like that. It breaks and then, gets back together. Anyway, going back to the action. That was completely useless to say. Anyway, now we got Roman Reigns just manhandling Bobby Lashley there. Simply picking him up, slamming him down. Dominator type of maneuver, I believe. I believe that's what it's called. I can't remember. Reigns, he gets a lariat straight to back to shoulder / back from Bobby Lashley. Counters into a submission maneuver. Imagine Lashley taps out here. Imagine how embarrassing that would be for Lashley to tap out Roman Reigns in general. Roman Reigns has no Pacific submission maneuver, so of course, that'd be kind of, bad to go through. Snap mirror from Bobby Lashley to Roman Reigns. Now Lashley, he's on the roll here. Reigns, he has taken the most damage, so far. But of course, like I said earlier, momentum could shift at any time, any place, anywhere, and we will not know when or how. But of course, it is unpredictable to know on what could happen in this matchup, and of course on who could win, because both men are almost like equally strong as well. So we shall see. As see now, Roman, he gets dragged back into the ring from Lashley. Now Lashley, he's on a complete roll here, leg strength, and that will be a rope break. This young man not having great ring awareness so far, rookie mistake compared to a veteran of Roman Reigns, but we shall see on how Lashley could be able to hold his all in this matchup now. As both men are on the ring apron, Lashley just throws Reigns back into the ring, simply with a back suplex. Lashley, he kind of like looked at the announce table and me for a second. Not gonna lie, I am very, very intimidated. Reigns, he stops mid-track of the Irish Whip, and now Lashley able to do a nice move there with the backbreaker, able to connect it straight into a camel clutch. Nice transition. Reigns counters a side headlock takedown. Now Roman Reigns with the momentum, a chin lock, and now Lashley counters with an arm drag, knee drop to the back of Roman, double X handle, and now a lariat. There you see the way Reigns just went flying. Rope break, another rope break. As Lashley went for a pin there twice, and another rope break. This young man not having the much of a good ring awareness here. Take Roman away from the ropes like so, and then you pin him or submit him. Now, of course, I see there elbow drop from Roman after a humongous hammer type strike, and now Lashley, he's going to try to steal victory. Counter where Roman was going to do probably powerbomb into a small package. Roman with another type of a hammer strike, and this time nails the powerbomb. Double X handle. I feel like Roman should have went for the pin after that, because I feel like that would have worked out well. Now he's going to do it to Lashley, and that was a 1 count. As Steve, what was that? Roman jumps out of nowhere, all the momentum in the world, nails him with a falling facebuster, or a double underhook front falling facebuster. Anyway, that was a front skull crushing finale. Did Roman just do a skull crushing finale off of him running? You'd think that was going to be a spear or Superman punch, but whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns, he wins this matchup. It's probably going to be a triple threat between CM Punk defending his championship against both Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley, which is going to be a handicap environment. Roman Reigns, he keeps his rematch clause, but remember, Lashley, he still is granted that number one contender's shot, so it's going to probably be a triple threat at the Live from the MSG joint branded event. Not pay-per-view, but event. Anyway, that was it for this Week 5 edition. I keep saying Week 5. For the Week 6 edition of Raw. As next up, it's going to be, next episode of Universe Mode is going to be your Raw Fallout, and then the actual episode is going to be ECW Week 6, and that will be the show in which where we cap off the Bare Legal pay-per-view, and if we, we recover from that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. That was the Week 6 edition of Raw, and don't miss the next episode of Universe Mode here in Booking Revolution.